Try something here. So it looks like audio on YouTube is not coming. There we go. All right. We are good to go. So my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is June 16th, 2021. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. So starting with our market and the SPY. Overall, we are in sort of all-time high position in the SPY. We're starting to slowly grind higher above a previous all-time high, but we're not really seeing that sort of strength and conviction on a breakout, which obviously leads some people to be a bit cautious. When we dig into a low time frame, we start to see that there is some structure here that we maybe want to analyze and review. Ultimately, the price action has been moving higher, but not necessarily with the same range expansion that we've seen in the past. These oscillations back and forth have led us to a new all-time high. Based just solely on direction, we want to respect the fact that, we did make a new all-time high. We've closed at a new all-time high. There's a lot of technical reasons to consider that structure to be bullish. But in the short term, and due to the fact that we do have some binary events still on deck for this week, namely the FOMC meeting and the Fed chair press conference that occurs shortly thereafter, these binary events may introduce some additional volatility, and there is still some downside potential as we see that ultimately there hasn't been that conviction of the bulls to move this market through the trading range and to get us away from this previous value zone that we've established. The structure that I've drawn here is basically just a very simple rising wedge, which from a technical point of view often does occur in multiple time frames. It's not one that I typically respect heavily, but whenever you see them, you simply want to see specifically on a rising wedge, are we starting to lose the lower trend line? Because a rising wedge is ultimately some sort of trending structure to the upside, but the compression near the top end of the wedge is essentially making for bulls and bears to have a zone that, if they were to lose the zone to the downside, could perpetuate multiple stop losses being hit at the same time. So the rising wedge is very simple relative to other structures that if we were to lose a trend line, getting to hitting other stops along the way, basically that stair step of where to expect bulls to have their stops, could lead to follow through. Now, why is this important? We've had a few industries and sectors with key names that have had some sort of rising wedge structure, and those ultimately did break bearish. So let's take a look at a few of them and kind of see what is the potential if something like this were to occur in the SPY. So one that I think is a fairly clear one is Caterpillar. If we take this structure here and we simply extend out from, let's say, the 2 touch points, I'll use the daily to make it a little easier. I'll get some of the clutter away since we're just looking at this overall trend. Let's say we look at just these 2 touch points here. Obviously, once again, not a perfect pattern. We do have closes below, some volatility in between. But if we draw the upper side of this wedge, we start to see that the price starts to basically compress itself inside of this wedge. There's been some tests above, some tests below, and interpreting this from the perspective of a non-dynamic pattern, something that's based simply on horizontal and horizontal support and resistance, we see some things that are pretty common. Some potential buying climaxes leading into reversal candle patterns. We're still obviously in a daily trend, so a lot of trend following traders are looking at Caterpillar and saying, you know, I expect the trend to go higher. But then you look at something like the weekly and you see that, yes, Caterpillar has been extended for a period of time. It's far removed from our moving average supports. And as it starts to get higher and higher, we're noticing that every swing high that we're getting in Caterpillar doesn't have the same strength after the pullback. Normally, you would expect a pullback and a new high to essentially extend much higher than that previous swing high. You want to sort of remove yourself from a previous trading range and get to almost a 2 times the extension of the trading range to really see a good trend in play. Usually this involves a little bit of setup and compression, but ultimately that's key when sort of trusting whether or not this is going to continue. And over time, obviously, this becomes far removed from value. It becomes far removed from fundamentals. There may be some significant catalyst to shift the perspective as essentially the momentum starts to run out. You cannot go up forever without pullbacks. And depending on how these pullbacks set up, it'll lead to something, I would say, reserved and small, or something more violent like we saw here. So as an example, Caterpillar does have that sort of rising wedge structure. It starts to continuously make new all-time highs, but eventually the momentum does run out, and you can see sort of the waterfall effect as market participants have to begin stopping out as the momentum perpetuates to the downside. So one example here, and we looked briefly at XLI yesterday. Caterpillar is a component of other stocks such as Honeywell, Union Pacific, United Parcel, etc. But it is a significant component down the list of industrials. And we have seen some of that carry through inside of the ETF. You can also see that other stocks, some of the larger holdings, maybe not the same setup, not the same rising wedge breaking bearish, but ultimately, once again, just looking at basic trend line analysis here, we see things starting to essentially pull back to their trend lines after periods of very bullish trending structure. Now, what's interesting about this is, as we look at the SPY, this is one thesis that we could basically hold into consideration based around what could occur today with the FOMC meeting. If we see volatility, and if we see a sort of setup like this where there is a loss of momentum to the upside, one trigger that could occur is a loss of just our lower support trend line. That would facilitate a rising wedge possibly breaking bearish. We would ultimately look for a back test telling us that that trend line is acting as resistance and no longer support. And then from there, we could see potential follow through. And we would look at maybe some of those previous value zones as targets, with the idea that if it does move much further, or if we sort of get a very quick reaction through the trend line, we may get targets quicker or more aggressive targets further away from value, further away from sort of the middle of the trading range. We could even look to the low end of the trading range if things truly get serious. Now, why would we be proposing a bearish setup inside of a bullish trend? Well, I've covered a few of them. We know the market is extended. We know the market has been extended for a long period of time. Bearish setups have been few and far between throughout this period of a bull market. We've had to basically find our spots very carefully, and ultimately we're not looking for the market to crash. We're looking for the market simply to correct. Inside of these bullish setups, we are also considering whether or not to take profit. If you are long certain setups, you do need to have targets, especially if you're just trading. And inside of those targets, they need to be reasonable relative to a technical area or some sort of valuation that you're looking to ultimately hit if you're adding an additional analysis into your setup. But another reason to consider a possible bearish setup is the Qs. Now, since we've gotten some of our inflationary information from previous reports, we have seen a reawakening of some of the QQQ stocks, specifically some of the large cap names. And with that, we've seen the QQQs basically do a full transition from a very volatile low point leading into what is essentially a new all-time high. But similar to the SPY, this move may have carried itself far enough without a pullback. And we are once again simply looking to see if the market wants to give us that pullback with sort of an all sector, all index push to the downside. I would say that the Qs have some potential here because we do have previous all-time highs lining up with that sort of generic trend line resistance. Inside of that, we see that the market has reacted here so far. We are getting a pull down inside of yesterday's price action. Excuse me. And we are seeing that the market so far has not really bounced yet. So inside of a strong trend to the upside, this is coming off of our trend line low that we've discussed over the past couple sessions. This trend line low facilitated by a double bottom setup. Inside of this, we have an upper resistance zone that so far has reacted well in the current intraday session. Excuse me. So with this potential, once again, if you are looking at long setups, you are in the camp of more of a breakout trader because you are saying the market is at resistance. It is starting to pull back. I am looking for a very aggressive buy setup that is going to lead to a new all-time high and ultimately a breakout of this general structure. If instead you're playing low to high and high to low, then you are looking to take profit into these targets because ultimately your targets should be achieved based on previous price action. And you're also looking to potentially fade high back to either midpoint or even back to low once again if we get a more volatile break of certain areas of support. And just like we have with the SPY, with value sitting below us, we can look at short-term timeframes to find potential targets using something like volume profile to understand that value is sitting below us. We've had a nice extension to the upside, and now we should be considering the idea that the market may correct. In that correction, we simply want to look for previous zones of support. The QQQ had sort of that consolidation period here. This would ultimately be a very simple area to look for if this trend line were to break. And then if things once again were to get more aggressive to the downside, we have some previous support turn resistance zones. And then ultimately, depending on your setup and the time frame, we would look towards value, which is the idea of maybe VPOC being targeted. And that would bring us back to our trend line lows, which we would ultimately extend, much further down or much further out, sorry. So with the SPYs and the Qs at these areas of previous resistance, these areas maybe with a lack of momentum, we also have the IWM, which so far has provided us a nice move to the upside. But in that move, we need to respect the fact that it has not made a new all-time high. We do have some very volatile names in the space. And with that volatility comes a potential for upside risk. Ultimately, if some of these stocks are to break bullish, the IWM may have the energy needed to make a new all-time high. But if they were to break bearish or simply lose momentum and other major areas of this start to break down, we get that same basic thesis of low to high, which has had a very significant push, very little in the way of significant drawdowns. Most of these have been just pullback buys. And now we're back at all-time high area, looking for the potential for simply a fade to the middle of the range. And then finally, our Dow. Now, the Dow is interesting because we've talked about how a lot of our strong previous sectors have in recent past started to sell off. I've already shown industrials. We know something like financials has pulled back at this point. Once again, not a huge pullback in the context of the daily, nor the weekly, which is still in an extended position. But that same concept of what is strong ultimately needs to draw back down in order to continue. And we have seen things like a trend line break inside of the financials. This was facilitated by the CPI report and some of the price action last week. Let's see. And then, forgive me, drawing a blank here. Oh, yeah. We've also seen materials. This has been an interesting pullback inside of materials, potentially a buyable one. But ultimately, this has shown a little bit of additional weakness inside of our strong, I would say, inflationary themed market that we've had over the past 6 months. So these drawdowns ultimately are not significant in the grand context of the uptrend. These also may be buyable pullbacks if we get a nice confirmation of some of these supports. But the volume has increased. We need to take note that these drawdowns are hitting stops. They're also hitting sellers coming in looking to ride this momentum down. And we also need to take into account that the weeklies are still in an extended position. We look very closely at the daily. We look for daily support structures, trend lines, etc. But in the larger context and the larger timelines, these drawdowns can move much farther than most people expect. And we certainly saw that with our example here with Caterpillar. The trend is your friend until it is not. That certainly rings true in certain examples that we've seen previously. So with our Dow in this position at its trend line, do we see a reaction and do we see new highs from here? Or is it simply the start of something that's going to break much further? And, same idea with the weekly, a drawdown back to the 20 period would be ultimately the goal here, not any sort of crash, just a correction. So Moving into this week, I'm certainly much more cautious. All of our products are at zones where I expect there to be some selling pressure and some additional supply coming into the market to move prices lower. We do have a catalyst today, so it ultimately doesn't make a ton of sense to put on additional risk with an unknown factor coming into the market that can easily lead to some volatility that we can take advantage of as short-term traders. And then as a more long-term swing, core, whatever position you're looking to initiate, taking advantage of these fluctuations in the context of a correction, and then using that correction once again to look for better buy setups, better areas of support, and allow for the market to facilitate the move with the right structure in place. So for now, this is how I'm sort of moving into this market for this week. We still have some more defensive sectors moving higher as well. We've seen utilities sort of get out of its consolidation zone. We had this brief period of sort of a correction and just a drawdown in price, but utilities have been moving higher. We've seen multiple higher high, higher low days, and we're also seeing some volume increases inside of the utility sector. So there may be some positioning in utilities as a risk off sort of position. Ultimately, with the idea that there is some risk to come. I would say the same thing about staples, which so far have not really lost any sort of support, but also have not moved higher. Essentially saying that the market is not piling into this area, but has not really sold out of it either. In more of a, I'm looking to de-risk or reduce my risk off position and go back into our more strong sectors. We've talked about how technology and staples are, technology and discretionaries are going to be the areas that are more risk on in the market. Additionally, with yesterday's discussion, we do have a volatility index that is starting to slowly move higher. Now, some of that positioning, I believe, was taking place in preparation for the CPI report. And we obviously did not have a lot of volatility following it outside of some of those additional sector sell-offs that we just reviewed. But we also covered something called the VVIX. And the idea here is that the VVIX is still in a very elevated position, which is telling us that large market participants, the big money and the smart money ultimately, is not only paying for volatility inside of the VIX, they're paying for protection or hedges in the VIX, but they're willing to pay more and more as time moves on, which leads to an increase in this index. You can think of it more like acceleration versus speed, with the volatility index, the VIX being the speed aspect, how fast are we expanding our range? And the VVIX is how fast is that range expansion expanding. So, sort of a derivative of how fearful is this market and what are they prepping for moving forward. So using this analysis, we're simply saying that it is not necessarily the best time to consider bullish positions inside of this market. A lot of the moves have come and gone. We've seen some great compression into expansion moves in our big tech names. We've seen Amazon start to pick back up. We've seen Apple have a potential buy setup here. I would say this one still maybe has some possibility for short-term play, as we did get out of a trading range using an ignition bar. This is going to be your 3-bar setup idea, an idea where essentially getting over this high is going to lead to potential more upside. And then our stocks like Microsoft have already filled their gap. This would have been a short-term target from low to high, filling a previous gap, which I've marked with the rectangle and the shading. Facebook still in a elevated position, very much in a trending position as well. But once again, you do not buy these highs expecting higher. You look for pullback setups and define your risk appropriately. Facebook has offered multiple attempts at that, and so far those have been mostly successful. And same idea with Google, very elevated state, both on the daily and also the weekly, with the posture here and the risk definition being shown by those rising wedges. As an exercise, maybe consider drawing the support and resistance lines on Google using previous price history and see what the downside risk could be if volatility were to hit. Once again, not for a crash, just for a correction. Additionally, some of our other market cap names are not necessarily in the best posture if the market were to go into that corrective phase. I would say that Tesla, amidst a market that has been very strong and hitting all-time highs, has been a laggard overall. Very little follow through in some of the potential buy setups. We're seeing a lot of pullbacks down to previous support and ultimately just sort of riding its 200 period moving average. Structurally on Tesla, if we look at volume profile, there is a large volume gap that is sitting below us in Tesla. And that can be seen on the daily very clearly with this sort of void in price history and price structure. So with any volatility that hits this market and a clear loss of this support area, we will see how far Tesla can fall if things were to truly go into a corrective phase. This particular stock not very well positioned for any upside at the moment. We are simply looking at a stock that has underperformed the overall market, and it's potentially set up to go lower if we were to really lose that support structure. So keeping all this in mind, we're trying to simply look at today and look at the end of this week, which is I think I got it right this time. It is going to be sort of that triple witching into Friday. The market is on edge, and with regards to some of our volatility products, with regards to some of the selling pressure that we've seen in our stronger sectors, this posturing of the market seems somewhat defensive. And as an analysis or as an analyst of the market, you should also consider defensive positions when you see other market participants gearing up in the same way. You're trying to follow the smart money. You're trying to understand how this posture of the market will give you an edge overall, and then you're looking to take advantage of those moves, whether they be short term or long term. So ultimately, if you're long, you should be looking at potential hedges into this binary event. If you're looking at getting bullish, I would say let some of this sort of volatility clear, allow for the market to set back up in a structure that is bullish, and then use that clear risk definition to take advantage of the move. And then finally, if we are going into a more corrective phase, we'll see some of these trend line structures start to break down and give us that follow through that we've been trying to see if the market ever gives us in the past couple of months. We've had a very strong bullish market overall. There's been a lot of great setups to the upside, but in the midst of that, there have been some significant corrections. We're simply looking to see if we can take advantage of one at this point and if we're in the right position to do so. So with that said, I'm Jarad. This is Engineering the Markets. Obviously, trade safe out there. Let's see what sort of volatility we get today, and then we'll come back tomorrow with sort of a clearer picture of where we want to end the week, and maybe also looking at some additional setups so we could start to build or actually put on into the rest of the week. So take care, stay tuned for pre-market prep, and we'll talk more tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Good morning, brother. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. The slamming
I'm.
continues next door. So if you guys hear, the banging is the construction over in my neighbor's house. So
This is a family show. We shouldn't have any banging, Carlos.
we should not be having any banging, slamming, or smashing unless it's a thumbs up button over on YouTube. We highly
Yeah,
appreciate your
absolutely.
support, guys.
And speaking of, we're going to need you to hit that button a lot today because we're going to need to get like 200, 250 likes, and we're going to have a special surprise for you. We're going to have Andrew and Brian live trading and
Yes.
going on after the show on YouTube. But we got to get the
Yes.
likes up to do that.
Absolutely, guys. All right, guys. Let's get into it. Let's see what we had yesterday on our list here, and let's go right over. No, that's the gappers. We jumped right over here. Let's take a look at OCGN. Was the first one on deck yesterday. They were again good pre-market action. After the bell, they did get going here towards the downside a little bit, grabbing onto this 9 moving average and trading very well after that. But again, it was just a little tough here in the morning. It looked like it wanted to go back up and test the 745 and get going. Nice fake out and then just never looks back, guys. As far as heading towards that pre-market high, it's a real nice short play here on OCGN. We also had Wish on deck. Wish was a little more choppy than we would like. Pre-market action started with some potential, and then it just gave it all away the minute this thing opened up. Now, if you're scalping and getting in quickly, this was a beautiful pop above 1218. right? So it depends on your trading style. If you're looking for that pop there above that pre-market high, that was very, very nice. We talk about this breaks of the pre-market high being very important and good for possible opportunities, and you saw that right on there. But you had to jump out of this one quickly, guys, because you see what happens here. Does almost engulf, coming all the way down to engulf this candle that first 5 minutes, and then from there you get a period of just pure chop into it decides to finally break down here. So a little bit tougher there to trade if you did not get a good entry on the upside or the downside. Here is Riot. Riot was nice, guys. Beautiful open range breakdown on the 5 minute. A nice continuation on the following candle. After that, it does get a little bit messy here in the 15 after 15 minutes. Doesn't trade very well, and it just doesn't get pretty clean here. Kind of goes sideways a little bit here. Then from here, you do get a nice little bounce. Not a double bottom, but very close to it. Very tight. I wouldn't consider that double bottom, but just kind of finding a base here over around that 33.80 or so. And then it trades very well after that, guys. Nice, beautiful bounce. Another consolidation area here after a nice pop, and then the continuation comes in towards the VWAP and then some. So this traded very, very well later in the afternoon as well. Here's DKNG. Now, this thing had all the fun in action in the pre-market, did not leave anything for us after the bell. After the bell, you do get a nice little pop here, but then it's just the choppiness comes in, guys. It's a little bit expected with how big the drop was here on the negative catalyst they had yesterday with that hit piece. So again, that didn't trade all that well. And then here we do break out again out of this 47. Look at these levels, by the way, guys. You're seeing this 46.28, 47.57. You see how nicely that is playing throughout the day yesterday. So you did get a breakout out of that one. And then again, some more chop between these levels here on DKNG. But definitely the best part of the move was in the pre-market for this one. Here is Apple. Apple was a mess yesterday. You did get a bounce here, but again, it was not clean. So again, just you can see here, every candle overlapping the previous candle. And then the one we almost kept our eyes on was AMC. AMC just continues to find a way to rip higher. Does give you a little bit of a struggle here at the market open with this engulfing pattern, just kind of figure out what's next. Had a beautiful pre-market activity. And then from there, it takes off towards the high of the day. Beautiful continuation, lovely pullback. Andrew traded this one nice yesterday with some good entries and additions to his position there. And look how great this thing heads up towards that 65, right? Gets a little bit toppy here, of course. This thing's just been on a tear if you've been looking at this show and also the daily. And then from there, it drops down to the VWAP and then some. So again, AMC continues to trade very well. Even today already, 3.3 million shares traded, down 1.4. That is definitely going to be on our list today. CRSR was another one that was on deck. I didn't really watch the price action too much on this one, so I can't tell you how it was. It looked like it was okay, not too bad. Does get choppy in this area here, but again, doesn't seem like it was a superstar yesterday. That's for sure. All right, guys, let's get over to our market post. Norm, what do we have going on today? What is the latest and greatest happening with
I'm
the
just
SPY?
kidding. We've been talking about it all week. We have a massive FOMC meeting that's taking place yesterday and today. Of course, their policy announcement will be 2 p.m. this afternoon. As we head toward that, you can see the markets are flat. I mean, SPY is just a couple of ticks away from previous day close. Same with NASDAQ. So the Qs. So man, I mean, that's it. I think that there might be a little bit of a little bit of action at the open, and then I anticipate things to turn to chop pretty quick today. 8:30 we had building permits, housing starts, and import price index. And then, as I said, 2 and 2:30, we've got the announcement, and then the press conference at 2:30. So all eyes will be on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to see how that is going to shake up the markets. All right, guys, let's take a look at our watch list this morning. Let's take a look at our gappers list. We're going to get rid of some of the stuff here from yesterday. We'll make some new rows right on here. Here we go. There it is. Perfect. All right, let's head on down. So here we have, starting with KIN. KIN this morning gapping up 44%. Doesn't look pretty. Looks like a buyout at the moment. Just pretty much a nice pop and flat, right? So no good there. Skipping on down, SPI. SPI we've seen before come up on our list. They can trade very well at times. So this morning, let's get our daily here, see what that looks like. Our daily right now, getting a little bit of a pop here. They're up 24% with 5.6 million shares traded. Now, this pre-market action does look good, does look interesting. We do have great volume here, especially after 7. Look how nice that volume is piling up there. I think it's worth taking a look at today. Let's see what's going on with SPI this morning. It is, oh, so hold on a second. This is a low flow stock sitting at 17 million. So I'm going to put it down here in our low flow pile.
they've announced that they are going to be rolling out EV charging stations in the U.S. So
Oh, okay. All right, we'll see how that's gonna play out for them. Let's see here. Next one, BCTX, also low flow stock, sitting at 6.5 million shares traded at the moment. I'm sorry, 6.5 million shares float. Only 603,000 shares traded. It started to get going though in the last couple of minutes. Their daily obviously pretty whacked out here, which is okay. We don't need these low flows to have a great daily. We need to have a great pre-market action volume and clean trading right at the moment. So we're seeing that in the pre-market right now. We're going to put it on here next to SPI, BCTX, and we'll come back to that, see how that's looking a little bit later. Up 20% this morning, looking real good. ARVL today, they are up 10%, 1.5 million shares traded. Have we looked at this before? No, right? I don't think we have. Recent IPO. Yeah, I don't, not that I can recall, but recent IPO, guys, here getting a nice little pop, 10% this morning. What does this company do? Arrival. I'm not sure what that
this
is.
is a auto manufacturer. I'm guessing EVs out of Luxembourg. I don't like stocks traded out of there.
Yeah.
So I'm on the fence on that because the pre-market isn't terrible, but I'm hesitant. I would maybe put it on a secondary and keep an eye on it, see if it
Right. Fully agree with you
makes
there,
the
guys.
list.
Yep, let's put it. Agree with you there. Let's put it as a secondary because again, the pre-market does look good, but you're right, the daily and everything else not great right now, and they don't get great volume neither. If you look at the since they opened up in March all the way till now, you can see here the volume is less than 5 million for the most part, even lower, like 2.4. So it's not a good one as of on the daily. But let's see. Today looks very interesting on the pre-market. OCGN on the list today, up 3.8 this morning. They are, again, they had a nice gap down a couple of days ago. That was nice. A couple of days in here, they traded very well in the intraday. Today, they're up 3.8. Pre-market action is all over the place. 786,000 shares traded so far. I'm on the fence on it. I don't know. It wasn't great yesterday. Even though the daily has a nice drop. If you look at yesterday, how we discussed, it wasn't great. Actually, no, I'm making mistake in this one. This one was actually pretty good. Pre-market wasn't great, but this was actually pretty decent towards the downside. So we'll see. We'll keep it on here. Here's Run. Run is up 2.4 right now. They have 115,000 shares traded. Their daily has been on a stuck in this range here. It looks like 46 and 42. We're kind of bouncing off 42 even right now, 43 or so. We'll see. Pre-market action, guys, pretty dead at the moment. Again, I wish we had more volume on here. And the great thing about when you're stuck in this range is the breakout, right? Right now, they're kind of midpoint, so you can get some chop here. I would love to see this breakout of one way or the other here. I don't know, maybe a possible, guys. We'll come back to it. I hope we can find something that looks a little bit better than that. Here's Alf. Alf, we know, guys, doesn't trade very well, and we took it off the list yesterday. But let's see what it did here yesterday. It looks like it really got going. Where's the action here yesterday? Oh yeah, but see, although it ended very well, right? Up quite some numbers there. The way it did it, just come in here, guys. This is very, very choppy. So I won't give them too much credit. Yes, their day looks amazing here, but their intraday doesn't look great at all. So it seems very choppy. Here you probably got as a halt, maybe. Not sure why that gapped up like that. But yeah, it does not seem like the price action was that clean. Although they're pushing up a lot of volume, guys. 198,000 shares traded. That's quite a bit of volume. I'm surprised that the intraday action looks like that there. Today they're down 11.8 or 1.9 million shares float. I'm sorry, 1.9 million shares traded. But we do not have shares for short. So let's see what Alpha is doing today. Let's put it on here as possible. We'll come back to it. Next we have Tao. Now we know Tao and EDU should be on here. Yeah, EDU as well. They're both Chinese education companies, and they're back down.
There's more than just that, brother. You got what else? GoTo, I think.
Oh,
isn't that another one?
Okay,
I think so.
okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yep. So there's a few of them scattered on here.
Yeah, again, guys, just be careful. They don't trade very well, and it's funny. They look like they have some hope here, trying to get a bounce, and they're just slamming right back down here again some more. So just be careful with these guys. I won't be watching them. Be very, very careful. Oh, Alpha is a 3.8 million shares float. Doesn't move like it. Doesn't quite move like it, but maybe. Okay, so I got to bring Alpha down to the lower flow stock here. I just noticed that. I thought they were higher flow for some reason. Roblox is down at 10% this morning. 890,000 shares traded right now. As you can see here, nice gap down for them this morning. We do have shares for sure. Pre-market action looks good. Great volume. Roblox is definitely in play. Now, keep in mind,
they're gapping down on news of reduced usage.
Okay. Now keep in mind, Roblox, guys, very difficult to trade. We'll put it on here, but just be mindful they can be a little dicey to get going here. Next, we have MX. MX this morning, a little bit choppy here, which you can see. They're gapping down 7.6. I do not like this pre-market action. I do not. This is probably foreign.
That's out of Luxembourg again, yeah.
Yeah, looks foreign.
There's a reason I don't like trading those.
Yeah, that looks horrible. Go-to we kind of discussed already, similar to EDU and Tau. So again, just don't trade very well. A lie in the gapping down list today. We have Oracle here. Also, Oracle this morning, they're
They had
down
earnings last night.
5.3 on earnings. Okay, and that's probably the only time we look at Oracle when they have some kind of catalyst, because they don't trade very well. And even with the
doesn't even
catalyst,
usually trade like that. It usually doesn't trade that well, even with that.
Yeah,
I think they beat their top and bottom lines and had pretty decent earnings, and they're still getting smacked. So
yeah, it's strange that that's going on there. Not so bad pre-market compared to what we're used to seeing from them. But again, they got some good volume, 301. We'll have to see how that's going to play out. I have it here as the main one because really it's not much that looks great so far this morning. Let me get rid of this so it's not confusing for you guys. Here we go. Let's see how that turns out. AHT, we've seen this one before in the past. I do like the daily losing this 550 here. Could be a potential for a drop. That's nice. Pre-market action on the other hand, not great, pretty choppy.
a REIT.
Oh, it's
That's why it looks terrible.
Yeah, that's why it looks bad. All right, let's get rid of this. Here's Mara. So we got some Bitcoin stuff coming up. We got Mara, we got Riot. Let's see which one is looks good here this morning. Mara is down 3.8. Riot is down another 3.7. So both of them down pretty much the same amount. Their pre-market action very similar at the moment. Mara has slightly a little more volume. So again, they're not looking all that great right now. We'll put Mara just on here as possible. We'll see if that gets a little bit better down the line. RAPT, low flow stock that was very active yesterday. Today they're down 3.4 on short selling restriction. We do have inventory for sure. The first day was nice. After that, yesterday wasn't great. So you can see the chop here yesterday, just really all over the place. I suspect today we're probably going to see the same situation. The good day was was it 2 days ago, right? That we had a real, right on here. We had some real nice trading on that. But today and yesterday, I don't think we're gonna get anything great. So let's skip down to Go EV this morning. Oh wait, we skipped XPEV. Let's see XPEV. I know you guys like that one, so let's take a quick look at XPEV. This morning they're down 3.6. That's interesting after a nice run here they had over the last couple of days. What is Neo, Tesla, and these other guys doing?
They're all down.
They're all down today. I do
We've got Neo, LI, Go EV, all these Chinese EVs are on the gap down list. Go EV got pumped on Wall Street Bets yesterday. You'll see a huge jump at the end of the day for yesterday. There you go. So
yeah, interesting. Right now, I think Neo probably looks the best. But we can keep all of these in mind, guys. We've been watching this EV for a very long time. We know what the tickers are. I'm going to go with Neo at the moment. Tesla's probably looking good too. Let's take a look. Yeah, Tesla's okay. It doesn't have not great volume though. Pretty light there. But Neo looks good. I'm going to keep that one. XPEV looks great as also. I think for potential, their daily looks a lot cleaner. A potential drop here if they can get going. We can add XPEV as a possible as well. All right, I'm gonna stop here, guys, because I want to give you guys. We'll say it again. Oh,
Donkey Kong.
Oh, yes. How we could forget? What's that doing today? Oh, look at this. Look at the bounce back yesterday, guys. Just insane. And today they're looking to get going again. Some volume coming in here, guys. They're up 1.7, 395,000 shares traded. Definitely added to the list. It's funny. Every time we get that kind of hit piece type thing, stocks tend to do is they overreact, I think. Again, I don't know if it's an overreaction or how factual this information is that we're providing. But this is the second time we see this where something drops like this. You get an overreaction and then the stock comes right back. I forgot what was the other company that did the exact same thing. I have not yet seen one where you get a hit piece and it doesn't recover. So interesting.
Oh, I have. But
a
lot of times they do.
Oh, they do? Okay.
I've seen a lot of them that haven't. That have. I think Nikola There you go.
Oh,
There's one
oh man,
that
yeah,
just got
yeah,
smoked and still down there.
yeah, that one. See, but that one has some serious truth to their issues, man.
Well,
Wow,
I mean, that's
that's
usually luck and coffee. There you go, Peter. There's another.
hey, that's another
It's
one.
just
You're
one
right.
after. Yeah. So that it
Yeah, yeah.
happens all
There's
the
a few.
time. But if
Yeah,
I mentioned it yesterday. I wouldn't want to be one of these guys doing short reports right now because, you've got Wall Street bets that
right. They'll
loves
eat that
to
up.
try to crucify these guys, and they'll just attack
Mm-hmm.
them for trying to do it. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
um, before we hop to the room, I'm going to say it again. We'll say it a few more times as people come and go on YouTube, but do not leave, guys. We're going to have, we need more likes. We've got 160 now. We've got to at least have 250, which that's easily
At least.
reachable. We need 300, really. Let's try for 300.
Yeah.
Andrew and Brian we're going to keep the show going, and Andrew and Brian are going to live trade. So stick around. Don't leave. Hit those likes. There we go. Appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely, guys. All right, guys. Norm, do you have anyone you like before I go to the room?
I already shouted it out before you asked me, brother.
Oh, DK and G. Yeah. Any other ones? That's it.
No, that's it for today.
That's a good
I'll
one.
be sitting on my hands with this Fed announcement.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's get started here, guys. I am going to start with our buddy here, OJ, APRE. APRE. Let's see what we got there. They're starting to get going now. 42% up this morning. 8.8 million shares traded, so that's pretty nice. What is the float on this bad boy? APRE.
Andrew was in here trading this thing at 8:30 Eastern.
Yes.
I don't know if he didn't go to sleep last night or if he woke up early. I mean, that's 5:30. 5:30 in the morning. He's there trading.
Last time he traded this early was AMC. He woke up at like a 4:30 and traded AMC. Remember that? So APRE, guys, definitely in play. What's the float on this? 14 million shares flow. We'll add it on here, and we'll get rid of these some of these ALF, BCT, and SPI if they don't look good. But APRE looking very nice this morning. Great volume, nice little pop, just beautiful, beautiful pre-market action on here today. All right, let's continue here. We have APRE. That is good. Our friend Edwin is giving us Tau. Now, you know how I feel about Tau, guys. Just be careful with that one. I won't be trading it, but you do have Apple. We'll take a look at that. Apple this morning, what do we got going on here? They're not doing a whole lot. They're pretty much flat. They were flat yesterday as well. Didn't trade very well. I expect, like Norm mentioned, a lot of these stocks are going to just be flat for a little bit until we get these information today. I think that's going to be very, very exciting. But Apple is one to look at. I think Apple overall is great to have, especially when the market is expecting some kind of news like it is today. I think that's going to be interesting to see how that is going to play out one way or the other. You know, the Apple is kind of like one of those stocks that will move with the market or move the market itself nicely. Here's XOM, guys. This one is pretty much flat as well. Big day yesterday. Now, we've seen this one gap up and down before in the past. I do not like the way this thing intraday trades. So just be careful with it. Even on days like you see yesterday was okay. I'm still concerned with how the price action is on the stocks like this. So be mindful of that. You could tell here the candles are very small. Had a good start. Had a great start, and it just kind of dies down here. So just be mindful of that. You don't usually see that from XOM. Let's take a look at BABA this morning. I know they were active yesterday. I saw a couple of moderators watching BABA yesterday. BABA this morning they get killed yesterday. Today they are slamming down here. They're down almost 0.5%. Volume is very light. Again, I'm not seeing anything too explosive on it right now. It could be interesting if we start losing some of these levels here and heading towards this 204. But at the moment, I think I'll keep it off my list for right now. Heading on down, we have XOM. We just looked at that one. Let's see what else we got, guys. TRCH. Let's see here. What do we have there? TRCH. We're getting a pop-up 8.3. 4.8 million shares traded. Traded 264 million yesterday. Let's see how that traded. It was okay. It's okay. What's the float on this, by the way? Go ahead, Norm.
300 likes secured.
Ah, sweet. We are definitely going live with Norm.
Oh yeah, today. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean you guys don't just stop hitting it. Just I mean, you don't want to underachieve. I mean, just
absolutely
strive for mediocrity, right? No, keep hitting the likes. We're gonna have Brian and Andrew on at the open after this. So
absolutely. You know, how about if we get 6 as that's pushed? If we get 5, we'll go live again tomorrow. How about
there you go.
There you go. Let's got to give it something, right? Let's give it that there. All right, TRCH, guys. This one here, it is 121 million shares flow. So it's a large flow stock. And usually when they're lower price, you got to be careful. They don't trade very well. I'm just concerned with this one. We do not have shares for short on it, so we're kind of handicapped on it as well. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure. You know what? I'll put it as a possible. Yes, it's pushing some good volume. It is up 7.3, but I still think this is one of those stocks that might end up just faking us out and not doing all that well in the after the bell. CLF not looking too good right now, guys. Wrapping itself around the previous day close line has been green, and red, and back to green now. So that's nice. You're getting some movement there. The daily looks okay. Looks like it wants to get into an ABCD type pattern here on the daily, finding support. Beautiful bounce yesterday. Maybe some continuation. That's a stretch, but again, given what we have here, we can add this as a possible. We can come back and see if that's getting any better. SPI, we do have on deck, guys. TR. CH, no shorts at IB. Yeah, so that's yeah, I have the same thing. No shorts here on IB. All right, excellent. Let's stop here. Let's look over on YouTube, guys. What do you guys like this morning? Let's take a look. Scroll up here. NVAX. Let's start there. So NVAX is one of these stocks, guys, that are very difficult to trade. The last couple of days, they've been moving quite a bit. They've been moving nicely, but for the most part, they're very difficult to trade. So let's take a look at yesterday's action. Pre-market was horrible. And yeah, it's just be careful, guys. The spread on this, the price action is not pretty. I know the day looks interesting. You're getting some really good moves from 230 down to 181. Just be mindful about this one. Here we go. Mara and Riot. We do have both of those on deck. I believe Riot is right up here. No, Mara. I thought I had Riot too. Where is Riot? I thought we added Riot. Maybe not. But we have Mara on here. We'll keep Riot also in mind. They're both down this morning, 4.7. I have Mara here. Maybe we'll add Riot if it gets any better. Roblox we do have. Yes, Roblox is definitely in play, guys. Just getting killed right now. Down 10%, 1.1 million shares traded. And we do have shares for shorts. Usually we don't have those, but today we do, so that's good. And I'm not sure how many we have. Let's take a quick look. 3 million. That should be enough for me, Norm, and maybe Andrew. Andrew might need more than that. I'm not sure, but that's enough for a few of us. What do we have here? CCL. Let's take a look there. CCL this morning, gapping up 1.1, 333,000 shares traded. I don't think it's really in play, guys. Let's look at NCLH. Let's see what we have here. They're both moving up though. It might be interesting if something's coming out now. They're starting to get a little bit of volume. They don't look great yet unless something is happening that's causing them to get moving here that we might just not be aware of just at this moment. So maybe
upgrades, I think.
Is that what it is? Didn't they get an upgrade the last couple of days? It didn't do much though on the upgrades. Was it NCLH?
No, I think that was airlines. I think it was Save or something like that.
Yes, it was Save. Yes, thank you. Yep, it was Save. All right, so yeah, I'll put CCL on here, see if this is doing anything. But right now, doesn't really look like it's in play unless we start getting some serious volume here on the way up. How much time do we have? All right, we have 5 more minutes. Let's take a look, guys. Mara, Riot. Yeah, we do have the Bitcoin in play. Space, SPCE. Let's take a look here. This one, I love the daily on SPCE, guys, for a possible drop. Again, barely holding on to this support area here at 35. Really trying to stay above it. Got slammed down yesterday. Today, we're pushing against it again. Down 1.7, 140,000 shares traded. If we lose this, that could be a lot of fun. Or if the support is really strong, hopefully we can get a squeeze towards the top here. Yeah, space could be interesting. It's just the volume is so light. And again, I think a lot of things are just waiting, Norm, like you said, to see what's going to happen with what's coming up today. All right, guys, let's stop here. AMC we do have. No, we don't, but we should. We don't, but we should. Let's add it on here.
What's that?
AMC.
Always.
Yeah, AMC is going to be on here the way Peter keeps AMD on his list for the next couple of weeks at least, right? The way this thing is moving. Right now, 4 million shares traded. We are down 2.7 in the dailies. The daily is interesting on this thing, guys. Just look at the way this thing has been trading here. The range is looking really, really nice there. We'll see how that's going to play out today. So, all right, folks, let's stop here. Let's take a look at our community events and what's coming up, some of the meetup stuff that's happening. It's an interesting time for us. As you can see, a lot of stuff happening in our community. So let's get to that.
Got the pleasant sounds of the weed whacker.
Oh, it's everything is happening.
I know, there, man. It's busy. It's busy. Hey, just a reminder. I know we keep getting people coming in here, so which is awesome on YouTube. But keep hitting those likes. We're gonna have Andrew and Brian come on. Let's see if we can get to 500. Now that we've got 725-ish people on YouTube live, We should be able to get to 500. Come on, guys. And like I said, stick around, don't leave, because Andrew and Brian are going to be trading live after Carlos and I wrap up the pre-market show. All right. So Peter's success webinar, Mountain Pass Trades, I believe it's already posted. Ryan on the spot, posting those as fast as he can on the site if you missed it last night. And then next week, we're going to have Kyle dipping our toes into crypto here. He's going to be talking about one of the most fundamental things about it, and that is securing your crypto wallet and your brokerage account. That'll be, can you mute, buddy?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sorry about that, guys. That'll be at 8 p.m. next Tuesday. Then tonight, 8 p.m., we're going to have Nadar, our mindfulness expert, talking about having a wise and healthy relationship with money. Next week, we're going to have Dr. Katz doing a town hall. He will take 2 traders from the room, and he will moderate a conversation between them about their trading journey. Always a well-received format. All right. If you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of that day. Of course, it should have entries and exits. Add any commentary you can to describe the trade and the strategy. Post it on Twitter. Tag at BearbullTraders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family. Day trading and stock market will announce the winner every day on Twitter in the afternoon, and then in the room as well. And then all the trades of the day are eligible for trade of the week. The team will vote on that over the weekend, and the trade of the week will be announced on Twitter and in the room Monday afternoon. New York City meetup. This is not just for members. If you're one of these many, many people here, let's see if we can get 700 people to the meetup in New York, Saturday, July 3rd, 4:30 to 8 p.m. That'll be at Three Monkeys Bar. Check the forums. Please RSVP there so we know how many people. That's for Thor's birthday. You're going to have Andrew, Carlos, Mike, and Kyle. Of course, Thor, the birthday boy, will be there too. So should be a big fun event. There's also a Portland meetup coming up in a week or so. All right. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to try out the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. It automatically cancels after that. You have to go choose to sign up if you want to keep coming to the room. We don't want to just sign you up for billing that you then don't want. So that gives you access to the room and the onboarding classes each and every Monday night with Carlos doing the onboarding and Kyle doing technology. Also, if you'd like to sign up for a membership, you can use the promo code Fireworks40. That'll get you 40% off the annual Elite membership, giving you access to all of those webinars that I went through a couple of minutes ago and the mentorship sessions we do on Thursdays.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Norm. Guys, question from Philip. Is the meetups for new people, for new trading as well? Yes, for new traders also. So
Anybody.
if you're new to trading, it's especially for you. Come join us and we can chat about trading and have a little fun as well. So definitely, you don't have to be a member neither. So over on YouTube, just RSVP and we'll love to have you and hang out with you. So, all right, with that said, guys, apologies for the noise in the background. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Here is Roblox, guys. This morning, really getting slammed. That's definitely staying on our list. Oracle doesn't normally trade very well. I do like this drop this morning. Their pre-market action is better than usual. Let's see. We'll keep it on here. Neo right now getting some good volume. Neo hitting 1 million shares traded, getting a nice bounce, guys. This thing was down about $1 or so over at 43.39, getting a beautiful bounce this morning. So that is looking interesting there. Nice little range. So that's good. DKNG is starting. It did get going here earlier on today. I think this will be interesting. Did bounce back yesterday, closing that gap. I mean, this thing was down from 50.75 all the way down to 45 or so. A lot of that sell-off happening in the pre-market yesterday, and then after the market open, getting a little bit of a bounce. So maybe a possible continuation. We're at a very critical area of support here and resistance. You can see here beautiful support happening a couple of days ago between the span of May and June 2nd or so, and then we're kind of slamming time into that area now as resistance. So let's see how that's going to play out. I think this will be a good one to watch. We have Apple on here. Apple's starting to get going, guys, getting a little breakout here from the pre-market highs. So that is good. And then of course, we have to have AMC, very active this morning, already 4 million shares traded on this. So I think this list looks pretty good. I'm going to just run through the secondary list. Let's see if there's anything here that we might want to move up if it's looking great. I think space is a good possible. CCL is starting to get going. We'll see where that goes. CLF, I'm going to get rid of this one, guys. I think this can end up being a little bit choppy. The daily looks interesting for a possible continuation here if we can get going. But I think some of the stuff that we looked at already looks slightly better than this. ARVL, this one's got a great pre-market action. And just let me remind myself what the flow is on this one. We are looking at 138 million shares flow. It's got a good pop to it. It's good pre-market here. Yeah, we can keep it on here for now. OCGN pre-market is good. It's got some great volume. I wish it would look a little bit better. It's a good possible, though. We're slamming up against this area of support one more time here. Let's see if that thing is going to continue to hold. Here's Run. Run not doing a whole lot right now, guys. So I'm just going to get rid of it. I like the range that it's stuck in, but I would love to see it break out of that range and see a little more action and volume in the pre-market. Mara, we'll keep Mara. I know Mara is down. Riot is down, but all the Bitcoin stuff is slightly down this morning. They both look really good. You can go with either one, but I think they both just need to be on the possibles list. We do have XPEV on here, which their daily is slightly more interesting than NEO for sure. If you look at NEO here, you kind of just been staggering on the way up here, but this XPEV has been on a really on a straight line northeast over here. So we're kind of testing some of these support levels that we had in the past right over here, 38.42. This looks interesting. Definitely worth having as a secondary here as well, or even switch or add it to your main list, or even switch it for NEO. Either one works well. TRCH, we got some good volume here. I know our list is a little bit long on the secondary list, but I think all of these look okay. We can also fine tune this a little bit later. As the low flow stock, ALF, I'm going to remove, guys. I think we have some pretty good ones here. BCTX doesn't have shares for sure. Let's get rid of this one for now. SPI, I think, looks great. And I think also APRE, both of these look really good. They have amazing volume. They're both up nicely in the double digits here. They're 21 and 47, gapping up this morning. I think that looks very, very good. All right, guys, let's get to levels. Let's start with Roblox this morning. Starting here, we do have low of the pre-market, getting a nice little bounce here, 79.56. The spread on this looking good today, too. Usually the spread is a little bit wider than what I'm seeing now, but that's looking pretty nice, about 5 cents or so or less, so that's good. 79.56 is the low of the pre-market. Towards the bottom here, guys, if we were to lose some of these pre-market lows, we do have a nice level right over here. This is a good level over at 76.75. Draw a line across that. You can see a great area of tons of resistance happening here over and over again. So that's 76.75. If we were to lose this pre-market low, can become a nice area of support. Over here, 84.18 is the high of the pre-market. Above that, guys, you do not need to add anything else. The highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, previous day close, is doing an amazing job for you. Towards the bottom, if we just one more in case we really decide to take a dive here, the next great level I see is going to be that 70.36. Great area of support here and here. That is looking pretty good. Heading on down to Oracle, guys. Again, doesn't normally trade very well, even with a catalyst. But let's see today. Let's see. 77.14. We do love this drop. Low of the pre-market. 78.48 is the high of the pre-market. And you see that it got a lot of touches on here as well. Over there, acting as great support in May. It just kept holding that support area, 78.48. No wonder it is our high of our pre-market today. If we're looking to close this gap, some levels towards the top. We have another nice one here, 79.82. Tons of touches right on here. Here you got a couple of days opening and closing right on there. A few were able to get above that, but not many. This is where they struggle big time. And then here, later down the line, you can see this was a big struggle to get out of here. Eventually, when they broke out at 79.82, you got a nice little pop here towards the top, towards that 84, all the way up here. So that's pretty nice. Slightly above that, guys, if we are going on this nice little run, we do have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Let's look at NEO. NEO here this morning, they're looking pretty good. As far as levels, we're looking all right here already. So I am going to mark down the high of the pre-market, although the low and the previous day close are slightly better levels. You can see that here right on there. So that's looking pretty good. If we were to head towards the top, plenty of levels here. It's highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. are taking care of you. If we were to drop below this 43.39, 43.40, we're looking at another nice level of resistance and support as well over at 42.16. So again, that level is going to be a nice one if we were to drop here. At the moment, we're looking good. A little bit of a bounce of 43.40 and just down 2.1 with 1 million shares traded. So NEO looks good. Keep in mind, XBEV, guys, it also looks great. Pre-market action, not as clean as NEO, not as much volume as NEO, but I do like their daily. I think they're worth keeping an eye on as a secondary. DKNG right now kind of coming back a little bit here. High of the pre-market 49.45. We'll throw a level there. And then towards the top, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Look at the low from 2 days ago. That is a great area of resistance that became support here before, obviously, the madness yesterday. We had this huge gap down, but you can see here, look at this, the resistance that was getting there at that level. So definitely have that on there on your list. And then towards the bottom, the low of the pre-market 47.99. Let's throw a level there. That was also prior resistance and support here as well. All right, that looks good right now, guys. Let's see. I wish the pre-market action would get a little bit better. They got some volume on here. I think they're going to get the volume at the market open. Let's just see if they're looking to close this gap today. Here is Apple, guys. Apple is a good one to keep an eye on. Was a little bit rough yesterday. We did take a look at that one, but let's see today with everything going on and some of the market data that's coming out. Should be interesting. 130.08 is the high of the pre-market. We're kind of surrounded by the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on here. So we're pretty good, pretty much good set on levels. Outside of that range, the 2 good levels we have here, one is going to be at 128.39, a great level of support and resistance right on here. You got the resistance happening here a couple of times in a few different places. And then towards the top, we do have a level here at 131.75. So that is Apple. Again, not doing a whole lot, but it's a good one to keep an eye on. Maybe a possible for today. Yeah, I think maybe Apple is more of a possible for today. We'll have to see how the overall market is going to treat Apple today. Let's move it down and we'll see if we can move anything else up. Here is AMC. AMC is taking a little bit of a drop here, down 3.8 this morning, 4.7 million shares traded. Their daily is just at the moment surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. You also have the previous day close right on here as well. So don't really need to add any levels in between this area. You're pretty much covered. Outside of that box, we're looking at the high of this day here, 68.55, and all the way up here, your all-time high is 74.47ish or so, right around that area. And this stock was at $2 at end of last year, $5. How about that, huh? And then towards the bottom, guys, we do have 46.06, and then over here we have 39.82. So pretty good stuff there. I think you're pretty much set. Again, great action. This has been a lot of fun to trade and even watch. Sometimes I'm not even trading it. I'm just watching Andrew trade. I'm just like, this is a lot of fun. I mean, it's just been incredible. So we'll see what happens there. All right, let's recap our secondary list. We have Apple. We moved that one down. I think it's good, but it's not there yet. Space is okay. CCL, it's all right. Yeah, the secondary list, not great. OCGN maybe. Mara. Let's see, XPEF, TRH, TRCH. TRCH could be interesting, guys. We're getting back up towards this level here. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can add one more. We're going to add TRCH. Not usually the type of stock that we watch, but they have a great pre-market action today. And I do like the fact that we're getting one more time, the 3rd time that we're going up against, well, trying to go up against the pre-market high. So that's interesting. At over at 575, we have a higher level here over at from yesterday's high, 615. So that's good. Great support over here around right below the VWAP around 552. So I think it has some pretty good stuff happening here. I think it's worth watching this one this morning. So move that one up. We'll move Apple down, and we'll see where it goes from there. All right, guys, that is what we have. That is our watch list this morning. Let's take a look at our moderators lineup. Noah, how are we doing on those numbers over on YouTube? We looking good? Are we live tomorrow or are we not? What's the latest?
We've got 423. Like we've said, we're going to have Andrew and Brian coming up, which is a good number of likes. But
yes,
let's see if we can hit 500.
If we hit 500, we're live tomorrow.
Let's try to do 500.
Yeah.
Well, you're stealing tomorrow's thunder of me trying to negotiate likes. We're just not going to get any likes tomorrow is going to be the problem.
Well, you know what? If we don't get over a certain amount, then we don't go live anyway. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But no, guys, seriously, we appreciate the support over on YouTube. It helps us out a ton. You'll be
Yes, it
surprised
does.
what that little button, thumbs up button does for us. Guys, here is the moderators lineup. Let's take a look here. We are starting with Peter first.
And be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell too. That way you'll know when the show goes live.
Absolutely. Here is Peter. He is IPOs for today. MOLN. I'm not gonna read all these out, but here's your IPOs for today that should be coming out, opening up this morning. All right. Well, we have a ladies meetup on Slack, right? So, if you'd like to join the Slack group, so we do have that, and I think they meet at least once a month. Tiffany and Dima, they get together.
Yeah, that's the Zoom deal, but they also have a Slack group they're in.
Yeah. So guys,
we get that said all the time. I see it at least once a week that somebody new comes in the room and they're on the trial. They're like, "Are there any female traders in here?" Because this is such a bro-dominated industry. They're not used to it. We've got a ton of women here.
Yes, we do. We're very proud of that. So yeah, absolutely. All right, Mike has limited screen, so he's just going to be looking at Apple today. Andrew is looking at the EV sector, a bit active. Neo, XPEV, Lee, all looking great this morning. I have Neo here, I have XPEV. Boom, there we go. AMC, our good old buddy.
You guys.
Absolutely. We're going to be, thank you guys. We're going to be watching AMC for a couple of days. They're looking great. Here, APRE, guys, the low flow of the day, 14 million shares traded. It is up 46%. So that is looking real nice. He's also adding Roblox, Tau, and Oracle. Andrew, be careful with Tau. That's that Chinese education company. Could be funky at times with the price action. Dima, watchlist, APRE, Neo, XPEV, and Apple. Peter is looking at AMD, Roblox, APRE, secondary list, Apple, Oracle, and SPI. Tiffany's looking at Roblox, Neo, secondary list, AMC, ARVL, and APRE. On her secondary list there. And Thor's watching Neo, Apple, DKNG, Roblox, secondary list, XPEV, CCL, and NCLH this morning. Jarad is looking at AMC, and he's also looking at Roblox as well, and SPI for momentum type play. Yeah, SPI is on our list for a low flow as well of the day. Brian, Roblox, Tau, AUVI, APRE, and DKNG on his list as well. So, guys, there you have it. That is our moderators lineup. Hang tight. We're going to switch screens over. Andrew and Brian are coming up next, and we're going to continue the show here, guys. Thank you so much for the support. Continue to hit those like buttons. If it's your first time here, subscribe. We love to have you back. We do this every Monday through Friday, starting with Engineering the Markets at 8 a.m. Start following by the pre-market show with Norm and I, and then now following the live action with Brian and Andrew. So we are switching screens now. We'll be back in a second.
Very important, guys. Before we switch over, I want to remind you, 2 p.m., Fed announcement. Most important Fed meeting we've had in a long time. Be very careful today. Do not get chopped up. Trade safe.
Absolutely. Guys, take a look at TRCH breaking out of the pre-market high here. That is looking pretty good. Keep that on your list.
this is my work. This this is my job. I said, well, you're making money with that? No, I keep my money with that. I don't make money with this, but I keep my money with this. It's like porn stuff. Are you porn stuff? No, it wasn't a. It wasn't a girlfriend. Carlos, I'm getting an echo on my side. Let's see how's that one doing. Oh, okay. All right, so that's we lose Brian.
No, I'm back here.
Carlos, I'm getting an echo in the room, unfortunately. This one. Sorry about this, guys. Just we're trying to test something, and we do apologize for this technical issues. But I'm sure AMC is going to be a good trade.
AMC's dropping. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of TAL for a Rising Devil. Let's just see how it all works out here.
Perfect.
Yeah, I took Playboy short on that loss. I was talking a loss of that level was put in a head and shoulders pattern and dropped as soon as it dropped below 40. I shorted it. So we'll see what it does today.
Alrighty.
Ooh, AUVI has lost it. APRE still looks pretty good.
APRE looks really interesting.
Yeah, I know. TAL has been on a daily death march. Same with EDU.
So Connolly, what I'm looking for is for stronger stocks, and trying to see if they can get a good move above the VWAP for them. And if right now, for example, APRE, I'm looking for potential opening range breakup on it, and the next level on that would be around 748. So on a 1 minute chart and 5 minute chart, I'm looking for potential opening range breakouts for on a stronger stocks. Yes.
Don't know if Eamon's trading or not today. I think he might be helping Vladimir get ready for the for the summit.
Vladimir Putin.
Yes. Vlad.
Vlad. Vladimir Putin. I think Ayman is also there.
Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, Gonzalez, Antisana is a very beautiful mountain. So APRE, unfortunately, is moving up right now. Potentially, if you can get a pullback, that could be a good long on that. Do you know what's the float on it? It's 14 million shares. So that's pretty good. I think that would be very interesting.
Well, Wall Street bet stocks are down today. GME's down a bit. AMC's down a bit.
GME is down, that's for sure. AUV is setting up. APRE is really running.
What's going on with XPEV was on some people's watch list. I see Mara's down a bit.
Bitcoin is
And
down
Riot.
2%. Yeah.
Okay, so they're down. So that would explain that. What's going on with Neo's dropping here?
Why are they selling off? They did mention that the XPEV lead,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Not really, Jason. It's just, I like something to be in play because of a catalyst, not just because it's in play, just because, people are chasing it around. If people are just trading it, then it's probably not as predictable. Yeah, what's going on with the EV stocks? Neo's down, XPEV's down. I didn't look at the other ones. Lee.
I think it's US-China tension.
Oh, okay. GM, what's GM and what's Ford doing? Oh, okay. Ford's up a little bit here. Fords are going to be strong, I think. Same with GM, maybe. Haven't, no. Been looking at it. I was looking at it yesterday. I don't know why I didn't pull a trigger on that.
Alrighty. Excellent.
Ford calls. I'd sold the rest of them when it really peaked there.
RBLX did a really nice
back.
bounce.
Yeah,
RBLX did a really, really nice bounce. Yeah. Jarad traded in the pre-market.
Nice.
RBLX is really active. I like RBLX too, actually. What for exactly? I don't know. I mean, potentially opening range breakup because it did really bounce back heavily. I mean, this is one of those weird situations that it's the strongest stock, but it's sold off in the pre-market. Oracle, AUV is really losing it. APRE, China. Yeah, I think my focus is going to be on AMC and APRE. APRE is a lower price stock. It's under $10, but I would say because it's 14 million shares float, might be we get a good opening range breakup on it.
Okay, I'm going to watch APRE, TAL, although it's sort of popping back up right now. Yeah, not liking it either that much. AMC looks weak.
AMC looks really weak, yeah. AMC is a little bit difficult to say, really. It's really setting off in the pre-market. It's really hard. I don't know. I mean, opening range breakdown on AMC, not sure. It's just already extended. It might bounce back. It might go lower. That's why I hate when the stocks are setting up so much or going up too much in the pre-market. They become really difficult to trade.
AUVI does not look that interesting at all at this point, so I'm going to stick it over on the one side there. It might perk up again here.
Oracle is interesting too. Gap down 5%, popping up. All the weakest stocks that gap down, they're all popping back up. So that's weird. Like Oracle and RBLX, Neo and Lee, they're all above. But I don't know if I want to trade them opening range break up, Neo, Lee, or XPF. Although they're all above the revap, but yeah, it's kind of that's weird. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would generally be like a Phoenix trade for me. Have a stock gapping down, but popping up above the VWAP, strong into the open. We got 10 seconds. I'm watching APRE, TAL, RBLX primarily. AMC, I think AMC is going to be a short. It's looking really weak.
All right, so
Okay,
let's see
we're
what
open.
APRE is doing. Opened really strong. Bounce back from 750. Let's see, potentially we can get a better entry later. It's probably setting off now. AUV, some volume. I really like the volume on APRE. Definitely 750 is a level. Yeah, it's
I got long at 735.
Let's see. I might jump in there too. Let's see. I'm getting a small long on it at 735. Let's see. Definitely very heavy.
See what it does. Yeah, it's getting lots of volume. I'm out of it.
I'm not yet.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting out of it now. Yeah, I should have. Every time that I just jump in the first minute, I'm losing it. It might still go up. It's just I shall not trade in the first 1 minute. So that is a loss. But I think it still has the potential to go up. If it comes back up above 730, I might jump in there. I just really shouldn't have traded in the first minute. Every time that I trade in the first minute, usually I get this thing. AMC setting off. See what the APRE is doing. Looks like it's holding. Taking another long on it. At 730. I might add more above 750 if it goes up. Okay, I'm adding a little bit more on it and see if it can go. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at this beauty.
There you go. There you go.
Hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm selling some here. 757. Let's see if we can go to 8.
Yeah, I got in back in with you there.
I think we're going to go to 8.
Here we go. Yeah.
Nice. Selling some more.
Yeah, I'm just selling some here too. Yeah, just had to do a bit of screwing around there at the open.
So that's a perfect example of me trading really bad against my rule. Just do not trade in the first minute. If you want to take a 1 minute open range break up, do not trade. So as you see, the first loss was a little bit, I think this might go up, adding a little bit more back on it at 764. Let's see. My average is at 740. Let's see if you can get another pop on it. We may not, but
It's definitely in play. This AUVI is just a death trap. No shares for short. AMC maybe going to bounce here.
yeah, AMC could potentially be a long on it. Yeah, AMC could be potentially a bounce back to VWAP. Looking at taking a long on AMC. Oh yeah, APRE is pop up. Let's see if you can go through 8. APRE might go through 8. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on. Let's do one more pop. Probably not. See, APRE is probably setting off. I'm taking a long on AMC at 55. Taking a long on AMC at 55. I'm getting out of the APRE. I'm getting long AMC at 55. So let's see if we can get to VWAP. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So rough.
Yeah.
A little bit on that pop.
Let's
see if we can go above the VWAP.
Playboy shorts working again here.
APR is garbage, man. I hate that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it didn't have a nice clean break through 8.
I want to see if AMC can go above the VWAP. I'm still holding shares. See if you can go above the. Looks strong. I'm adding a little bit here at 56.25. Let's see if you can pop above VWAP for to 50 towards 57. Thanks for AMC, Brian, because you did mention for bounce.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to bounce there.
Let's see if you can pop above 57. The VWAP is definitely.
It's definitely acting as resistance right now.
Yeah, I'm still holding. My average is at 55.50, so it's a good average I have. APRE is really disgusting. APRE indeed is disgusting.
Hmm.
Come on, AMC. Get a squeeze.
It's trying. Yeah, it's trying.
Adding a little bit more on this for me on this side. Let's see if you can get. It might not be able to go up, but I'll just add. Leave it. Looks like it really tries to push higher. Although this is below the VWAP, and it's like it's gapping down, so. There is a big ask here. I don't know if he can survive or not. APRE turned out to be really disgusting. AMC.
Yeah, AMC is still looking strong. Just trying to get through this VWAP here. If it can get through the VWAP, it'll go probably 58.
Go,
yeah, 57 for sure.
Holding. Still holding. Still holding. Diamond hand. Definitely has the potential.
Here we go. It's going. I think it's going to go.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Here we go. Here we go. Right through the VWAP now. We're at, this is prior day's low right here
Yeah,
that we're fighting
very
with.
heavy. Come on, AMC, you can do it.
Just, I'm taking some off. We're at the VWAP again.
I mean, I have a decent entry at 55. I mean, not really that decent, but just give it a little bit of room.
Yeah, I've got a
APRI
fairly good entry. Oh, shit. Okay, TAL and AUD are taking off here.
Let's see if they get the VWAP, then we're gonna get that squeeze. Come on, you can do it. TRCH is active. Yeah, I'm not sure. It might not go up. I'm slowly losing my confidence in it.
Yeah, that's it. Just making me nervous. That's why I took half off.
Or maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Right.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
He might go with that. Oh yeah, look at that.
Nice. 57.
Yes.
We're going to sit at 57 here. Sold some. Here we go.
It's gonna go to 58, I think, as you said. Getting out a little bit more. Handcuffs. Actually, I still have it, so I need.
I still have a bit left there.
No, I still have a good number of shares. I think. Oh yeah, I think there's a good chance it goes up to 58. Let me see. Or maybe. APRE, man, it was just horrible. This garbage.
That didn't work. APRE was not a. Yeah, it's just still chopping all over the place.
APRE. Yeah, AMC turned out to be really garbage. Sorry, APRE. It's hard to trade it, really. AMC might not go to 57, 58. That was a nice pop. Doesn't seem that really is in play that much. I hate when the stocks are. I mean, the order flow is not that bad. Still holding a little bit. APRE is coming back up. Yeah, potential APRE. I don't know if jumping back on APRE a little bit 740. I don't know if I might regret doing that again. But 740 a little bit at 740. Let's get see if I don't know. I might
Yeah,
regret doing that,
yeah.
but adding a little bit more on it.
I'm all out. Yeah, I'm definitely out of AMC after that loss of the VWAP there.
Let's see if APRE is going to go up toward break of high of the day or not. Yeah, I'm getting out of my completely AMC too. Let's see if APRE can go for the high of the day. I'm long APRE at 740. See break of high
Yeah,
of
it
the
looks like it's
day.
going to break out. Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Some here at 778. Do you think we might go to 8? So I'm all out on my AMC. Yeah, it
Back
just
down to
doesn't
S3.
trade nicely, APRE. It's just, for some reason, trades are really weird. Even though it has
AMC.
volume, it just doesn't
AMC is going lower, I think.
go.
Sure. Yeah.
Still holding
The only question is
APRE.
is it gonna lose this prior low here, or is it gonna bounce?
Which one? AMC 55.
AMC. Yeah, this is the low from the market open. I think it's gonna go lower.
I think APRE might go to 8, so I'm holding that. Adding a little bit more on this 770. Let's see if we can go to 8. Yeah, APRE, come on, you can do through 8. Or maybe not. It doesn't trade really clean, APRE. Even though it has the volume, it doesn't trade really clean.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
lots of
really just, yeah.
lots of wicks and chop.
Yeah.
I think AMC is going to turn here. It's going to go back up, maybe. Still seems heavy, though. The longer it hangs here, the more likely it's going to drop.
Yeah, unfortunately, this there are sometimes the stocks that are really have the volume, but the order flow is just not clean. APR is one of them. I think there are big players that. I mean, now it might go through 8, but it just still holding. Still holding.
Just got long AUVI. Just it looked like it was bottoming there. It's gotten through the 9 moving average. Volume's picking up on it a bit.
On which one? AUVI?
Yeah, AUVI, which really sold off. Now it's done a little bit of a bottom here, so.
APRE. Yeah.
There goes AMC. See, I knew it was looking a little weak.
Yeah, so I'm getting out of my ABRE at the break-even point. Yeah, it's just not really doesn't trade really clean.
Yeah, you're not getting those nice moves higher in the first.
AMC,
I always like to see it at first.
AMC's doing. Neo, really ugly. I mean, I had a pretty good day. I had a really, really good day. Profit on AMC and APRE. So I'm not really keen to trade anything else, except unless there's really something. How was your day in the chat room?
Mine? Good
I mean, yeah.
so
Right.
far.
Did you make any money or?
Yeah,
EKNG?
yeah. APRE I did, and AMC. I'm still short some AMC, and now right now I've got some AUVI.
Like always, Chris. Yeah, APRE is just there are sometimes these low price stocks that they have a lot of volume, but they trade so wiki, and I just hate. This is one of those ones.
Okay, I'm just
AMC is
covering.
just,
I'm covering. Yeah, I'm covering some AMC here.
very nice.
54.33.
AMC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, AMC might go to 50.
Cover a little more here at 15. Oh, here we go. AUVI looking okay. VLX, I don't know, but
Yeah.
just sold some.
Yeah, it's really
AUV.
fun. APRE, it's not only the float, it's just that the way that look at each candlestick on 1 minute chart, it's just really wiki. I hate when the stocks are really trading like that. And unfortunately, you don't know unless you just get into them. But what the biggest mistake that I had was just jumping into the first minute candlestick. That was so each 1 minute candlestick is like 50 cents. That's a lot for a stock that is $7.
Covering.
So that's an
Covered
obvious
some,
thing
just
that you really should stay away from this mess.
I just covered some more AMC 53.98.
AMC, Brian, how are you doing?
Good. Anyone else AMC short? Nice.
Yeah, AMC might lose it. I mean, on the daily chart, the next level is around 51, and it seems really weak. DKNG. Oh, yeah, you did the trade on DKNG, huh?
But yeah, DKNG I was going to watch. I had too many things on my list. I dropped it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good day for me.
Next
I
target
didn't really
here.
get a big breakout in anything, but it was really decent.
Coming back to my break even on AUVI.
Yeah. Let's see how far AMC can go down.
I'm gonna see if it'll get to 50 into the 52s. So that's a bit of a stretch from here.
Why do I have TQQ? Who bought TQQ for me? What the hell? Did my account just got hacked? Who bought TQQ? Seriously. See?
Yeah, the Qs are up.
I don't even have it's funny because I don't have see, I don't have even the dots here on my chart, but I just got TQQ. I didn't have that. It's all right. I'll keep it a little bit. Hopefully it's only that. Go check my.
Yeah, I had to get out of AVI at break even there.
Oh,
It
so it
looks-
might be the sinking between DUS and IB. But I sold everything last night. Let me check my IB. It just popped up. TQQ. So it did sell some. What else do I have from last night?
Just I'm gonna cover some more here. 53.77 on AMC.
Yeah, authenticate. You all use the IB authentication app for your things. That's weird. Portfolio analyst.
There's going to be a bounce here in AMC somewhere. I think it's going to be around here. Kind of feels like it's there's going to be some bit of a short squeeze coming here.
No.
Here we go. Here comes a squeeze on a bit on AMC. 9 moving average is 54.61-ish. $54.50. Thor is probably long now.
Yeah, I have. For some reason, I have TQQ from yesterday. Yeah, that was
No.
apparently that was an issue. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, John, you didn't take that. Okay, RBLX. Yeah, that was a nice comeback on RBLX.
AMC might be a double bottom, actually. So I'm taking the long on AMC here at 54. Put a stop loss at 53.50. Let's see if you can get a double bottom. Closes as a doji. Yeah, I do have some. Yeah, I checked my account management here, and it seems that last night I had some TQQ open position. So that's an issue. But anyways, I think I closed it. But regardless, it's better to check the IB to see what the open position you have. Damn! I'm gonna get stopped out on this.
Yeah, it didn't. Not much of a bounce there.
Still holding. Let's see if 53.50 is gonna drop or not. It's probably gonna. I'm gonna get stopped out.
Kind of felt like it was going to get
this
at
peak
least
is
get back to the moving average, but it's still weak. Yeah.
I'm getting it stopped out on it. Yeah. I mean, it still is weak. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. Yeah. Yeah, I do like to run TWS. I also use it for a huge watch list of just sort of major playing stocks. So I'll look up there and just see if there's something that's interesting in the morning as well. Yeah, no love.
I mean, it
for
doesn't
AMC.
happen very often. This issue doesn't happen very often, to be honest with you. In the whole, it's been
The
7
grand
years,
scheme
8
of
years
things.
that I'm using that. Yeah.
Trader Workstation. It's the IB platform. It is pretty difficult to It's not as anywhere near as user friendly as DOS is. So it definitely feels like EMC wants to try to find a bottom here.
Don't tell me AMC that you're going to go back up. Don't tell me that. Taking another long on AMC at 54. Might regret doing that, but taking the long on it, see if you can get to adding a little bit more on that. Let's get a pop to that moving average at least. Long AMC 54. Yeah, come on. Let's get. I don't expect it to go back to VWAP, but let's get a little bit pop. Maybe to 55 or something. Sold some here at 54.40. Maybe we get to 55. Again, the VWAP might be a little bit of a stretch on it.
It's at the 9 moving average right now on the 2-minute chart. This is where it could fail. Yeah.
Yeah. Could be a 920 or no? I mean, let's see.
No, 9 might act as resistance here. If it does get through the 920, 20 is through 55.
Yeah. I'm holding some to see if you can get.
Yeah, I knew there was a bounce in there somewhere.
So a little bit more at 54, 55. My average is exactly at 54, so not a great average. I think we can go to 55. The bigger asks at 54.50. No, don't drop. Still holding 5-minute chart, really close that as a doji. I mean,
Yeah, 9 could be acting as resistance here. We'll see.
yeah, let's see. Yeah, back to my break-even point. I gotta stop out. Gotta get a stop out. Should I? Yeah, I think it's gonna.
This bottom here at was it 53 sort of 60 area could be support if it comes back down and tests that level.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not completely out of it, but I got a bad entry. I mean, a better. So it looks like this 54. I'm still in there, 1,000 shared, but yeah, I think I need to stick to my rule and get out of it. Okay, I'm getting out of it. I mean, yeah, it's back to my break-even point. I need to get out of it. Yeah.
I'll try taking a little bit of a long at 53.76 here, just to see if it can if it's going to put in a double bottom.
I think it's is there any, is this a level on the daily chart or something? There is a level at 53.32. Yeah, so it is potentially a level because on a daily chart, so it's not out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just playing it for a double bottom. I'm going to sell half here, 54.08. So now I've got some little bit of leeway here.
I'm getting a long here too at 54. I see a big ask at 54.10. Let's see if you can pop above that.
Yeah, I want to see if we can get back up to maybe the 20 moving average this time. I'll drop out at break even on the rest, so it'll still be a green trade.
Getting out of it. I really don't need to trade. I mean, I really don't know why I'm trading, but I'm having such a good day. I really don't need to trade, so I'm not gonna. Somehow I think I should trade because I'm in the chat room, but that's what the handcuffs are good for. That's it. No more trading, even though the AMC is gonna go up, but no more trading.
It's still it's still using that 9 moving average as resistance.
From the other stocks in play, really, everything else is just kind of garbage. Oracle did a really nice sell-off.
Now here we go. Here we go.
AMC.
Yeah, I'll sell a little bit here.
GTT.
54.30.
Yeah, I can see GTT is interesting. Let me take a look at it. Yeah, come on. Come on, AMC. GTT. Yeah, it's a low float stock. It's going to go through 3, I think. Could be a good long for a 3.
Selling some more here, 58.
Damn. Oh. Might go
We're at
to
the
55.
20. Well, we're at the 20 moving average is now just underneath it. That's where I'm thinking it's going to have some resistance. Here we go. Actually,
I'll be
going to
back in a
get out of
second.
the. I'm going to get out of the rest of it here. 54.70. Wow, RBLX is popping up here. Alpha is back in play. Elf. Why do I think of a big furry character when I think of that symbol? Oh, look at this. We are going to try to get through 55 here. Yeah, I'm all out of AMC. Nice, Jared. Did we tag? I didn't notice. Did we tag 55? Yep, there we go. 55.11. VWAP is obviously going to come into play here, 54 or 55.38. Wow, RBLX really staged a comeback here.
right, guys. That was unfortunate that I'm not in there. GTT. Can you believe that, Brian, that I didn't get this? Can you believe this?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a better entry than you, so I was able to stick through that bit of a pullback. But that was definitely a decent little double bottom trade there. I think we're in no man's land now. Almost inclined to. I don't know which direction it's going to go.
ALF is halted. ALF seems that it's getting activity again. We traded this one yesterday. This is going to be fun.
Well, that's interesting. You know, it really didn't. It was just in that last 2 minutes that it really ripped. Big volume too. Almost 1 million shares on that 1 2-minute candle.
On ALF, yeah.
Yeah, on ALF. Someone's got to have a meme for ALF here. Come on. ALF is open and tank. There. Thank you, Peter. Okay,
oh, ALF is running off. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, yeah. Watch out for a pullback on it.
Oh, it's so wild. I'm getting a long one. It's small. Sold some 750. Yeah, just want to be part of the history. That's it.
ALF is in the house.
Long at it at 737. Sold some here at 762. Wow. I was just.
We're gonna get another halt.
Yeah, hopefully.
There's a R1 level there at 770 where we rejected from.
I think it might go through 8 potentially. This is a recent IPO too.
You're trading in your Lamborghini again? The side of the road?
No, it's just outside. I think it's going to go through 8.
Yeah, I think so too. Got along a little bit for with you here. Here we go.
Yeah,
baby. Oh, yes.
Yeah, look at that.
Selling. That was cool.
I have 1,000 shares left here just for fun. It might get halted again. I just have 1,000 shares left. Oh yeah, look at that. It's gonna get halted now.
No, it's 42 looks like halt level, 41.
Oh, it's gonna get halted now. 841 is halted, yeah. This is a second halt. That's good to get into that.
Yeah, halted. Or is it halted? Still halted?
Yeah, it's halted. I think so. Yeah, I think it's halted.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is.
So how's YouTube people are doing? Your 300 people are watching. Free riders. You don't want to pay $19 to watch this in real time. How are you doing?
Halt is 5 minutes.
Puppet Master. Good.
So so we've got we got the halt happened at 10, excuse me, 10:12.
AMC,
And-
man, the AMC piece of garbage, Brian. Look at this piece of garbage.
Oh, yeah, it's still, yeah. See, I knew there was a bottom there somewhere. There you go.
I knew it by Brian Peasant.
I knew it by Brian Peasant. Well, I got some of it. I got some of it. We did get some of it. Look at APRE. What a garbage.
I knew it by Brian.
I knew it. I knew it.
Did I tell you the story that? Yeah, I did tell you the story that last night my girlfriend said, "What is this?" So, wow, do you make money? I make money with that. No, actually, I keep money with this because porn stars make money with this, but I keep my money with that. That was a very awkward. So lessons learned: don't put your handcuffs in the living room.
Yeah.
I'm always a co-author with Brian's works. I knew it.
Yeah. My one book. Okay.
Have you retired
did you
this market permanently? No, sorry.
I was going to say, there was one review, Amazon review on my book. The guy gave me 2 stars. And he said, the first line in his review was, "I haven't read the book yet."
I have, but I'll give it 2 stars. No, let it
but I'm giving it 2 stars because it has your name on it. Yeah, Andrew.
Oh, because of me?
Yeah. He thought he was buying another book that by you.
Oh yeah, that's true. It is here. Yeah, I can see it. Aziz is not an author of the book. I've not read the book yet, so can't comment on the content. But I'm disappointed that listening.
Yeah, I haven't read the book yet, but I'm reviewing it anyway.
Some of the reviews are really, really fun. Clint.
Yeah, I brought the wrong book. Or it arrived late, so I'm giving it 2 stars. Let's take a look at Oracle, shall we? Yeah, Oracle reported last night. They actually put up some pretty good numbers, and in true fashion for this this earnings season, it gapped down. Yeah, it's definitely finding a bottom. I would say. It looked like it sort of came down to S3, which is around 76. So the 9 moving average is kind of flattening out. Same with the 20.
Damn, it went to 9.2 ALF. It's out of halt, so getting out of it a little bit more. Yeah. You open up even to 9. I think a little bit more in this pullback. Let's see if you can get although it's twice.
Yeah, you don't want to, generally speaking, get caught in the third halt.
Yeah.
It's quite a, a halt going down isn't necessarily good. Wow, did it ever pop on that after that second halt open?
Yeah, I have a little bit more on 8 and see if we can get there. So I'm just getting out
Yeah.
of it. Actually, I'm getting out of it completely. I don't like it. I made my money on it, so I think it has another pop on it, but I just don't want to be in there. So it's already two
halts. Yeah.
two halts already.
The third halt is dicey. And then when you really start to get a sell-off, you definitely don't want to be in that halt.
So what is this company doing, Alfie?
Alf.
They sell
Alfie?
Alf.
I don't know. Are they
What's
maybe
AMC doing? Pizza.
producing alfalfa? The SPY is just doing absolutely nothing.
Oh, 10,000 tablet deals with Uber and Lyft. Digital advertising. Oh, I see. So they sell tablets too for stuff. Oh, good. Interesting. AMC might do a lightning bolt pattern. Yesterday we had a really, really good seminar, guys, with Peter. Thank you so much, Peter. Amazing. Amazing. It's posted already.
Here we go on Alf again, maybe.
Oh, we do have shares for short on it too, huh? 100 shares. GME is going green for the day. AMC did a really nice lightning bolt pattern.
AMC might come back up here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, knowing AMC and all these meme stocks, Wall Street bet stocks, you wouldn't be shocked to see it go green on the day. I would not be shocked at all.
Yeah, I was thinking of buying some AMC at 54.50, but I'm done with AMC, to be honest with you.
For the day.
Yeah, it's gonna go up. Yeah, for the day. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna get something out of it.
Yeah, tomorrow will be another day. So definitely this level at 56.70 is going to be, no, it's more like, 56.70 is going to be an area where it's going to have some challenges. That would be yesterday's low. I'm done. Anton, you're done.
Ron.
What did you trade today?
ALF and APRE. What's the APRE doing? A piece of garbage.
It's not doing. It's kind of flatlining right now. It's used the 9 moving average as resistance since for the last 10-15 minutes. It does actually looks like it wants to maybe try to pop here, but the volume's really dropping off on it. AUVI has been an absolute disaster for the longs anyway. What's Neo doing? Neo's popping up a little bit here, eh? It's kind of choppy for the first half hour. Yeah, that's possible. RBLX could be doing a bit of a 920 trade here.
You know, it's really funny because it's not even 10:30. Looks like we traded for 2 years. Seriously, I'm so tired.
To me, Neo looks more like a, I mean, it's a matter of, what you want to see on a chart. But if I draw sort of lines on the tops of the candles for Neo, it looks to me more like a descending triangle. Like you've got this flat line, you've got this support line that it kind of held around 44, maybe just under. And then, you had the peak at the open and then sort of a series of lower highs. So it kind of came down into a point there, and then it broke out to the upside. Usually descending triangles don't resolve to the upside like Neo did here. Usually when you're getting a series of higher lows, it's a sign of weakness, or lower highs, I should say. If you flip that over and look at it as if you have a series of higher lows, and usually, and it's coming to an apex, then you typically would expect a breakout. And with a pennant, when you have, lows and highs that it's just cycling back and forth, then you really do have to wait for it to resolve one way or another. Reckless trader, what did you do here? Nice. So you caught a bit of a double bottom on CCL. Nice one. Nice one.
AMC's popping. Yeah, AMC was a really nice opening. The double bottom reversal. I didn't get it, unfortunately. As soon as I got out, it just went up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I bailed on it. On the rest of my shares.
APRE is garbage. To be honest with you, I stay away from APRE. It's just not trading nicely. What time is the Fed's meeting?
Excuse me. Well, they're meeting now, but I think two is when I think the minutes come out, and then I think Powell is speaking around 3 Eastern. 2:30. Thanks. Okay. But usually they release the minutes before, don't they?
They released the notes before the speech, huh? Right.
Yeah, I think so. Then the algos have a go at it. Because they can read a lot faster than we can.
I mean, it was a pretty good day, considering all the low volatility of summer and Fed's meeting and everything. I think it was pretty good. So we did a really nice trading at the open. I messed up a little bit on APRE just by jumping a little bit too early, so I had a loss. I had a trade on the pre-market. I had a loss, but eventually I made money on it. And AMC was also really nice. Even though I didn't catch this big move at the open, we got this one as well. So it was pretty good for me. Your green, Ryan?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I had a decent day. got some good trades on AMC, short and long, and nice got some trades in on ELF and APRE.
AMC's beauty, Ross. Human, nice. What's your entry, Human? Where did you get in? Yeah, unfortunately, some days you make money, but because you don't get that good trade, you just don't feel it. It's one of those days that I really didn't get that thing that I wanted, and even though I'm positive, it's just it's not a good day. I should have cut this freaking AMC. 54.95, nice. Yeah, that turned out to be a really nice lightning bolt pattern. Hopefully the universe keep giving us AMC or AMC type of stocks. It's been really fun in the last couple of weeks. Really, really fun trading AMC. It's just excellent price range, excellent volume, really, really nice patterns. Why am I cutting if I have a strong bias toward AMC? What does that mean? Do you mean why am I not trading it anymore? Because I'm green for the day. I don't need to trade anymore. Cutting the position. What does that mean? Cutting the position. If the question is why am I not trading it anymore, because it's just, it's good to get into the habit of stop trading after you hit your daily goal. In this particular case, if I were staying in this trade, I would have got this move, but it's not worth it. These small rewards that you're getting from overtrading or from not sticking to your profit, in the long term, it damages your trading. Like, for example, if you don't get out at the break even after you partial out, you might miss a couple of really good trades, but in the long term, it serves you well, and that's the whole point. In the long term, it's better to stop trading after you hit daily goal. I mean, in today's particularly, if I keep trading, there's so many opportunities and I keep more money, but it's just today. Overall, it's better to stop trading after you hit your daily goal. You can possibly you can trade. I mean, I did trade it much smaller size in these ones. So, for example, this loss, it was really small. Even this win was fairly small. This one was a much bigger size, just for me. I did take a smaller share size. That's another thing that it's a good point. But still, I just don't want to, expose myself. It's a good accountability for chatting. The community is a really, really good accountability. You know what I'm saying? That I don't want to trade or stop trading or bring this handcuff. I have to prove to you as well, because I want to lead by example. And I don't trade for money anymore. I just trade for a skill. It doesn't really much matter for me or my account that if I make another $500 or not. It really doesn't matter. So that's why I rather to have a clean video, clean chat room, clean recap than to just have a Christmas tree. Exactly, LBS. Exactly. That's very, very, very important. I mean, that 2%, it messes up everything. Which one was that? What was very trading? Oh, ALF. How's that one doing? Kind of died, huh? Exactly. Yeah, you don't want a Christmas tree on your piano. ALF. That was a fun trade.
Short some TAL here, just a small size.
TLA is just getting destroyed. It's been a few months that is getting destroyed from $90 to $25. There is still someone who's holding it at 80 and thinks it's coming back. That's a really good example of just do not average down and do not marry a position. Yeah, it's just, I'm sure there is still one trader at 80 waiting for it to come back.
Yeah. It's just yeah, even the weekly just looks awful. Daily looks even worse.
Cephas trader, I mean, I hope that one day you become a full-time trader, but I'm a big advocate of part-time trading. Don't quit your job, don't close your business, don't finish your, thing. Keep this trading on a part-time basis. I'm a big advocate. Just the stress, that the pressure that trading comes. Yeah, the lifestyle is really attractive, traveling and beach and laptop and stuff, but you don't do that, traveling gets boring after a while. You need a stability, staying friends, roots are important. And also, it's much easier to lose part-time than to lose full-time. One person, I recently had a trader, with Brian and I had lunch in Vancouver. He asked, why are you a big advocate of part-time trading? It was a new trader. So always, because it's easier to lose part-time than to lose full-time.
Yeah. Yeah. You can finance your losses with your other business.
Yeah, well, I quit my job actually 2019. I still have my job on because it's like, what time is it? 7:30 is still in in Vancouver. You finish now, you go get your breakfast, do your thing, and then you start the job at 9. Yeah, I don't know. Money is saying, oh, I made this amount of money, that amount of money. I don't know. I always try to avoid that. Usually, making money actually caused me more trouble in life.
Yeah.
Seriously, I lost a lot of friends. My ex-wife is suing me in court for money. It's just, there's a lot of other stuff is in there. So more money, more problems. Yeah. No, Marvin, that's true. No, I'm not saying that having money is bad. It's definitely a good thing. It comes with its own problems.
I'm looking at Elf. Get out a towel.
Yeah. No, definitely money brings comfortness. That's for sure. But doesn't bring happiness. A flying business class is pretty awesome, man. It's just, it's really good. But it doesn't make you happy. It's really comfortable. That's pretty good. Business class is awesome. It's way better. But
Totally.
No, happiness. I mean, I think happiness comes from two things: relationship and community. This is very important. When I lost my relationship, I just lost a big chunk of my happiness. And the community, the friends and family around you is also really, really important. I think really the happiness, I was in Nepal. These people had nothing. They have no money. But they're really happy because they're having a very strong sense of community, Nepalese. because I think they're Buddhist and they see the whole society as one rather than that's why there's in Nepal crime is really unheard of. It's just you don't see although they're really really poor, they have nothing, but they're just so happy people. I really think that um, happiness comes from relationship and community.
And giving back to others.
And I wasn't like that. This is a revelation that I had in the last year. After I lost my relationship and I lost half of my money like that. I realized that but money was really important for me. That's why I became a trader. I was really driven by money. But I came into this revelation that money comes and goes. Nothing is permanent. One day your account gets hacked, or the lawsuit comes, or just the way that it came. I got into money really fast, and it's just that as fast as you got it, you can lose it. What it really stays is your happiness. Like mental health was never really important for me in life. What is mental health? It's just always gym and workout and fast and hiking. Physical health was the only thing that I understand.
Yeah.
When I went through the crisis, I realized that wow, mental health is so important, and that's really, really, really something that's you gotta it's just everything is inside of here. If you don't have this mental health, doesn't matter how much money you have or where you are. Peter is really active in mental health not-for-profits. He's doing a lot of charity work and volunteering for mental health because his sister at a very young age committed suicide. So Peter really soon realized in life the importance of mental health. And I came into this a little bit late in life, so I realized that how important is the mental health. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, your physical health and mental health are probably the most important things.
Welcome, Flip. APRE is trying to struggle to do some stuff. It gets the volume, but I hate trading it. I don't trust it.
Yeah, it did pop up a little bit on a bit of volume, but at this point in the time of day, it's it's really you just don't have an edge at this point. You don't know when it's going to turn lower. AUVI popped up a little bit, but again, it's just it's hard to say which way it's going. The volume's really dropped off on it. SPY is starting to go more red on the day.
Yeah. AMC is bouncing back. QQQ is bouncing back.
AMC is just kind of chopping now. Ooh, the Qs are selling off.
Peak Capital Traders, guys. In 20 minutes, we have the mentorship session. This is a really nice one. Yeah. Yeah, guys, sorry about talking about the life and money and handcuffs, but there's not much going on. TRCH is doing some stuff.
I hope I'm the one flying the helicopter.
Ah, man, look at me, how young and Carlos had hair. How young fit I am. Thank you, Philip. We usually trade. We don't trade. Talk about handcuffs and porn and drugs and life. Mostly we trade, but you just got us in the wrong time. That the market is not much moving. There's not much activity, so we just got a little bit off topic. So don't get disappointed, please. Norm's credit card got hacked. That's interesting.
Oh, that's not good. I'm looking at ASTS, kind of popped up on the scanner here. Got long through 12. These scanners are always good when things kind of get slow. Just selling some here, 1209. It's not really trading that clean. It's kind of jerky. Still long some ASTS. You know what I'm going to get out? I don't like the way it's trading and getting out of the rest of it. $12.04. Just so that when it goes up, I can say, I knew it. I knew it. No, I think they release them in the afternoon, sometime around 2 o'clock. Oh, look, I knew it. It was going to go higher. Run. Run's popping up here on the scan on the new high bidder ask scanner as well. Sava. Sava. Yeah, Sava's had a nice run here too. I haven't seen that on the haven't seen it on the scanner. Oracle's popping up. Well, Oracle, we looked at that earlier. It was sort of putting in a bottom there. It was trying to, it was basically holding on to that. What was it? Sort of that 76 level-ish. It actually did one last little push lower before they popped it. See, that was that little drop lower, that false breakdown at 1036 was the algos probably saw a bunch of stops there. So they, they manipulated the market to trigger those stops. Bunch of people sold, they bought it, and now they're pushing it up higher. So this is the situation with all these with these brokers that pay for order flow, or they get paid for order flow, like Robinhood, zero commissions. And I'm sure the other, like E-Trade has done it too. They get paid for pushing their orders through market makers like Citadel. So if you're using Robinhood and you've taken a position on Oracle, let's say you took a position at 76.20 and you want to stop out at 76, so you put in your your stop order at 76. All the algos know where those stops are, and if they want to push the price up, they can just manipulate the market a bit with a few $1,000, $100,000 or so, or just pull bids. And just like, for example, if they want it to drop, they just pull bids, let it drop, trigger the stops because they know exactly where they are, and then they push, and then the price gets pushed up. And then they sell what they bought on those triggered stops. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know. I mean, that's sort of an example of how they, you know, how this order flow, pay for order flow, is working against the, you know, the retail trader. I mean, it's sort of equivalent to, you know, you're going, you know, you've got an army and you're going into battle, and before you go, you send your battle plan to the enemy.
How's AMC doing?
AMC is just kind of choppy right now. It's not really doing much of anything. Apple had made a nice move, had a bit of a sell-off at the open, came down right to the previous day close, held there, and then had a really nice move up. I don't know if did anyone catch Apple today? Yeah, Donkey Kong's gone red. Yeah, nice, Brit. Good one. Yeah, that was if you were watching Apple, that would have been a great entry right at because those are always three areas that you'll find support and resistance. The previous day close, the previous day low, and the previous day high are always levels that generally get respected.
Brian, let's do a recap.
Sure.
And do you want to start your camera?
Sure. I've got clothes on. See what you did, Courtney. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah. Look at that. And look at that chart that Courtney put up too. Nice. There's another example of a double bottom. You see how Apple came down, tested the previous day close once, popped up, came back, tested it again. That would have been a really good place to take an entry on that second test, which is pretty much what you did. And you got that nice move up. Way to go. Nice one.
All right, I'm gonna do a recap, guys. Me and Brian actually are gonna go do the recap today. So AMC was kind of the best trade that I did at the open. AMC was really setting up in the pre-market, and you know, Brian mentioned that you know, it sold off really hard at the open, and then it bounced back even with a strong 1 minute chart. Brian mentioned it for a potential bounce. I did go long, came back a little bit. I added more at 55, and then really nice pop above 57. I added also below the VWAP a little bit, popped up about 57. We were hoping to get a close above the VWAP to go up and to make more money on that, but unfortunately, really never closed the VWAP and then sold off, and I got to stop at the break-even point. The issue here with this trade for me was that I just don't have a trade book on it. This is just Brian called it, and I took that trade. and I don't know if it's a really good idea to keep doing that, because I personally do not have a trade book on a weak stock below the VWAP for a long, just right at the open. Potentially during the, later in the open, you can actually take a double bottom, which we did. Brian and I both tried to take it. This is a double bottom reversal or a VWAP reversal that we mentioned. We did take that trade, and it did work really well for some people. But at the open, I don't have that trade book. It's like shorting a very strong stock above the VWAP, just right at the open. You can get a squeeze. But I took this trade and I made money on that just because Brian called it, and Brian has a different price action reading price strategy. But I'll accept this profit. But I do know that this is not a trade that I want to keep doing. I have to have a trade book on it, and that's what really this community is about: building an edge, building a trade book. This is not an edge. This was just luck that Brian called it in the chat room when I called it. But later we tried to catch a reversal. Both Brian and I tried to catch a reversal on that in the later at around 10 a.m. So we saw that there's a bounce of 53.32, which on the daily chart, if you look at it, it's the high of June 9th. We saw that they're really holding this around 53.75. I took a long on it. I got stopped out, smaller share size. And then it came back up. I added the long at 54, popped up, sold, and I got stopped out. It really never made it. Brian took it one more time. Actually, Brian might not take it in the first time, but took it one, and then we actually got this move to the VWAP. I took it one more time, but I really didn't make it. I was done with my day, and I really got out with a bit of loss at break even. But it did pop exactly to the VWAP. It did even do this lightning bolt pattern that Peter has, the trade book that he teaches. He did that. That was for me. Brian, did you? How was your trades on AMC? You took this reversal. What else did you do?
Yeah, I took it short at the like you were talking about. Pretty much what you where you recapped there.
Short,
Yeah.
So you shorted here or this one. Yeah.
And
Brian, you did a really nice short on that.
Yeah, and then, the only other, and then we did the trades with ELF.
APRE.
And,
ELF was that. So ELF was interesting. Someone mentioned in the chat, popped up. ELF was active yesterday in the chat. It was really active, 200 million shares yesterday. And then it wasn't really active this morning. And then someone mentioned that is getting activity. It popped up with 1 million shares volume and got halted. After the halt, it kept the volume. On the pullback, I jumped in at 720, sold all the way up to 840, and then it got halted again for 5 minutes. After the halt, I added more and sold a little bit at 850, and eventually I got out at 8. So it was a small share size, like 2,000 shares or something. But it was a really decent trade on that. And then what you'd want to do is you want to get, it's okay if you get halt in the way up, because usually it opens higher. But 2 halts are really enough. This one, first one and the second one, you really don't want to get stuck into the second halt. So that was it. Did you trade also ALF, Brian?
Yeah, I traded ALF and I just did a trade on ASTS, which was came off the scanner. Yeah, hit the scanner. So got a trade on that one through a whole number.
Then we did APRE at the open. Again, I did the same mistake that I always say that I shouldn't do, but I do. So it was really choppy. Although it had a really good volume, it was really, really choppy. I jumped in a little bit too early in the first minute. It really didn't made it for 1 minute open range breakout. Got stopped out, came back up. This was a really nice 1 minute open range breakout, and I made most of my money from 730 all the way to 760. I added, and then I got stopped out. Came back up. I went long again one more time. Sold, added, and eventually I got stopped out. So that's one trade, and that was the second trade. And then there was one trade that I jumped into early and I got stopped out. I also did a pre-market trade on that as well, which worked. So in the pre-market, I went at 688, popped up 730, then got stopped out on it. And that was it pretty much for me. So I'm holding some TNA and TQQ for the Fed's meeting at the 2 p.m. There's one of the important Fed's meeting that talk about interest rate and inflation and economy. So I don't want to have a lot of exposure into the market. I have some exposure to the market, but something interesting happened that this TQQ wasn't in this morning, and then I noticed that after half an hour I got a TQQ here in my position. I don't know where it came from. So I clicked on that. There was no entry or something in this, but I noticed that it was because apparently Das and IB were not synced yesterday, and it was just for some reason I still had this position. What I did was check my ID, and yeah, I still had that. So it's really good. It's a good idea to have ID. Check your accounts daily, or when you're finished trading. It's just a quick browser check, or if you have the trader's workstation, just in case that if something happens. In the last 7-8 years, really, it never happened to me like that. But at least, it's just it's good to know to have that. All right, so that's it. Brian, anything from you?
No, I think we've covered it. I think we're going to have to get. I think we're going to have to get Courtney on to do some kind of a webinar or something. She's talking about using Fibonacci levels and stuff. So maybe we can talk her into doing something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
She seems to have her
so
own.
In terms of webinars today, we do have. I think Dr. Katz today is the Dr. Katz webinar on the psychology. No, it's Neda, and then next week we have Dr. Katz. So my Dr. So this is what we're having today. If you have any question, guys, let us know. Comments in the YouTube, and we appreciate a like or subscribe because we want to really grow this channel, and I think we deserve a little bit of more love from members if you really enjoy that. So a like or comment, we really appreciate that. It gets us actually excited, motivated to produce more material. Yeah, that's it. Well, we're gonna head into the Peak Capital mentorship session, and see you tonight in Neda's webinar, guys. Cheers.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.